Why men feel relief after walking away starts with a quiet truth most men never say out loud. When a man finally walks away, he doesn't feel heartbreak first. He feels silence. And inside that silence, something unexpected happens. Relief. Not happiness. Not celebration. Relief. Like putting down a heavy bag you didn't realize was crushing your spine. For months or years, he carried emotional confusion, mixed signals, disrespect disguised as modern independence, and unspoken expectations. He tolerated inconsistency. He explained himself when he shouldn't have. He tried to be patient in situations that slowly drained his self-respect. Then one day, something inside him snapped, not loudly, quietly. He stopped fighting reality. He stopped negotiating with his instincts. He chose himself. And that moment, that decision, is where the relief begins. Before we even reach the core of this story, let's zoom out. For this psyche-depth production workflow, the idea generation phase begins with 5 psychological angles designed specifically for men aged 25-45 who feel lost, disrespected, or confused by modern relationships. Idea 1. Why men feel relief after walking away. Idea 2. The hidden psychological cost of staying too long. Idea 3. When a man stops chasing, everything changes. Idea 4. The emotional burnout no one talks about. Idea 5. The day he chose peace over potential. From these 5, the chosen video idea is why men feel relief after walking away, because it directly taps into masculine emotional exhaustion and silent resilience, and it naturally allows philosophical depth, internal conflict, and revelation. Now the story opens visually in a quiet room. A man sits alone near a window. Soft light enters from one side. Outside, the world continues. Inside, he finally breathes. The narration begins slow, controlled, almost whispered. Men don't leave because they stop caring. They leave because they cared too much for too long without receiving clarity, respect, or emotional safety in return. Walking away is rarely impulsive. It is the final chapter of a long internal debate. He replayed conversations. He ignored red flags. He rationalized behavior that made him feel small. He convinced himself that patience would be rewarded. But the male nervous system can only carry uncertainty for so long before it chooses survival. Relief comes because walking away restores internal alignment. When a man stays in a dynamic where he feels undervalued or emotionally manipulated, his nervous system stays in constant alert. Cortisol stays elevated. His mind becomes occupied with analysis. His masculine polarity weakens. He loses focus on his mission. He becomes reactive instead of grounded. The relationship becomes a psychological tax. So when he finally exits, his body experiences something similar to escaping danger. His shoulders drop. His breathing slows. His thoughts clear. This is biology, not bitterness. Modern culture tells men that leaving is weakness, that walking away means you couldn't handle emotional complexity. But ancient masculine psychology says something different. A man must protect his peace before he protects connection. Because without peace, connection becomes dependency, and dependency erodes identity. Here's the part nobody explains. Men don't feel relief because they won. They feel relief because they stopped betraying themselves. Every time he stayed silent when something crossed his boundaries, he lost a small piece of himself. Every time he accepted inconsistency, he taught his nervous system that chaos was normal. Every time he chased clarity from someone emotionally unavailable, he reinforced scarcity. Walking away interrupts that pattern. The video then transitions into the hidden emotional labor men perform in modern relationships. He listens. He adapts. He suppresses frustration. He becomes emotionally available while being told masculinity is toxic. He tries to balance strength with sensitivity, but often what he receives in return is ambiguity, hot and cold energy, validation when convenient, distance when accountability appears. Over time, this creates internal fatigue. Men don't talk about this because society doesn't give them language for it, so they carry it silently. Relief arrives when silence replaces chaos. Now the narrative deepens. Walking away forces a man to confront himself. The initial days feel empty. He questions his decision. He remembers the good moments. But underneath that, something powerful grows, clarity. His energy returns. His routines stabilize. His ambition resurfaces. He reconnects with discipline. He starts sleeping better, training harder, thinking sharper. This is not coincidence. His masculine core is recalibrating. At this point in the psyche depth formula, we introduce the philosophical layer. Attachment without reciprocity is self-abandonment. Love without respect becomes erosion. Desire without alignment becomes suffering. Men are not designed to exist in emotional limbo. They need direction, purpose, structure. When a relationship removes those elements, walking away becomes inevitable. The script now moves into the psychological mechanics. Relief happens because walking away reactivates autonomy. Autonomy is a primal masculine need. It signals control over one's environment. When a man regains autonomy, dopamine stabilizes, testosterone rises, decision-making improves. He feels grounded again. This is why men often appear cold after leaving. They aren't numb. They are regulated. Then comes the revelatory section. Many women misinterpret this relief as lack of attachment. They think he never cared. The truth is opposite. He cared until caring started costing his identity. Men leave when emotional investment becomes one-sided. They leave when respect disappears. They leave when communication turns into emotional gymnastics. They leave when peace becomes rare. Now the creative direction shifts visually. Black and white minimalist anime frames, empty hallways, quiet streets, a man walking alone at night, reflections in windows, strong shadows, single light sources, each scene emotionally distant, calm, psychological. The animation prompts follow a pattern. Solitary male figure, quiet indoor environments, subtle facial expressions, clean line art, cinematic contrast lighting, monochrome palette, loneliness, emotional imbalance, unspoken feelings, soft light entering through a doorway, slow camera pans, stillness. The next paragraph focuses on masculine camaraderie. If you're watching this, you already know, you felt it. That strange calm after cutting off someone who confused you. That silent strength after choosing dignity over attachment. You didn't become heartless. You became honest with yourself. Then we enter the self-improvement segment. Walking away is not the end. It's the reset. It's where discipline returns. It's where a man stops seeking validation and starts building value. Gym sessions become sacred. Work becomes focused. Mornings become structured. He stops scrolling. He starts planning. He stops chasing. He starts attracting. The video explains that relief also comes from clarity of future. When a man stays too long, he lives in emotional fog. When he leaves, the fog lifts. He sees patterns. He recognizes red flags he ignored. He upgrades his standards. He becomes selective. He stops romanticizing potential and starts respecting reality. Now we move into the conspiratorial layer. Society benefits from emotionally exhausted men. Distracted men are easier to control. Men chasing validation don't build empires, but a man who protects his peace becomes dangerous to mediocrity. Walking away is rebellion. The workflow continues into final production. Music direction, slow ambient piano mixed with low-frequency cinematic bass. Sound design, soft footsteps, distant city noise, subtle breathing. Voiceover packing, slow, grounded, intimate. Visual rhythm, long pauses between lines. No flashy cuts. Let silence speak. Animation prompts structure for each scene. A black and white minimalist anime illustration with cinematic psychological mood. Quiet indoor environment, strong contrast lighting. Deep shadows, single soft light source from window or doorway. Emotionally distant atmosphere. Simple background, clean anime line art. Subtle facial expressions, calm body language, monochrome color palette. Scene sequence flows like this in paragraph form. Opening room scene, man staring out window, empty train platform, walking alone under streetlight, sitting on bed at night. Gym locker room reflection. Sunrise over empty city, man tying shoelaces. Closing shot of him walking forward into light. The closing narration delivers the core message. Walking away doesn't mean you failed. It means you listened to your nervous system. It means you chose growth over comfort. It means you stopped negotiating your worth. Relief is not weakness. Relief is alignment. Final call to action embedded naturally. If this resonated, you're not broken, you're waking up. Build your body, sharpen your mind, protect your peace. And remember, the moment you stop chasing what drains you, you create space for what strengthens you.